Welcome to the production house. I'm Bruce May.
And I'm Gary Parker, and we want to welcome you back. And once again, we want to do a shout out to Justin Woods, the producer over at Woodlands Online. Thank you guys for letting us have this show. We enjoy it, and we're going to do something a little different today. You want to tell them about it, Bruce?
Yeah, we have a real special show for you today. We know you love watching movies. We love watching movies, and our show normally talks about some of the famous movies that have been made throughout the history of film. Today, because we know some of you might like to get involved in the industry or maybe make your own films, we're going to tell you about our school, the Indie Films Foundation Film School, where we can actually teach you how to do that. So stay tuned, and we're going to tell you all about it. Why don't we start with how the school got started?
Well, to be honest, I have to give credit to my daughter. Because years ago, when she was in junior high and high school, she said, "Dad, why don't we do a film school?" She was in a theater group at the Crichton Theater, and she said, the kids have some interest in video and film production. So we actually started sort of a part-time after-school film school back then. And then a couple of years ago, Bruce came along, and he said, "Let's do it for serious. Let's do it for keeps. Let's do it for real." And I said, "That's a great idea." We both enjoy mentoring people. We both enjoy teaching. We both have a lot of experience that we want to share.
Yeah. Do we admit how much?
Over 70 years between the two of us.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Between the two, we're not 70 yet in age, but between the two of us, we've got about 70 years of experience that we want to share with young people, especially young people who are interested in film, television, media marketing, anything on the creative side.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that touches video or film in any shape, fashion, or form.
Yeah.
And by the way, corporate opportunities for video are expanding rapidly. A lot of people don't know this. You've had your own production company for years. In fact, Gary's done everything you can do, working as a controller, a director in Channel 13, to having his own production company. Actually had in Washington, you actually had your own news bureau for a while, and then you came back here. You've been independent producer on over 20 films, or DP rather. You've done 7 documentary films, all of which have won Telly Awards. So you've literally done everything you can do in the industry.
If you say so. I can't remember.
And now you're in front of the camera. So literally you've done everything, right?
Yeah, I've been very blessed.
Yeah, you have been. And I've gotten to do a lot of writing for you. I really love script writing, and so this is fun for me because I'm getting to do a lot of that. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I wanted to get in right up front here. We're going to start our school for the first full semester. It'll be a 3-semester school. We'll start next fall. But this summer, we're teaching a special class. And if you're a high school student or just even a college-age student, you can come take our summer class and get a taste for what this industry is like, and maybe decide, well, maybe you'd like to get more involved with it and with us in the fall when we start our school in the full semester. Which would have come sooner except for COVID, but we're launching that in this fall. So we'll tell you more about the summer school opportunity, but you can register right now online, get signed up. We'll tell you how to do all of that. But most everything that we have to talk about today is going to apply to the school, whether you just come for the summer semester or whether you come for the whole year. We'll tell you all about everything we're doing and how it works.
Yeah, we wanted to do an introduction to film and television and media this summer as kind of an exploratory course for you. We will touch directing, producing, editing, the set, the whole way it operates and works. But we want to do it in a way that your class project will be a short film or documentary that your class will do. And so if you're just interested, this is a perfect class to take. Or if you just want to do something totally different this summer than the normal summer camp or the normal whatever you do, this would be a fun thing for you to take. And you may find that you like film and television. You may find that you don't. But this is sort of the big overview. It's not 30,000 feet, but it's about 20,000 feet overview with a great hands-on workshop, a great hands-on school project. So
Yeah. By the way, it's also, if you're a regular watcher of the show, you love movies, it's a great way to learn more about how movies are made. So even if you're an adult any age, or by the way, if you're a professional working in the industry, you can also get involved with us. But if you're interested at all, we'd encourage you to sign up and come play with us this summer.
Come check it out. Yeah.
Check it out.
We're going to do 6 weeks, twice a week, so it's going to be a pretty, fast and furious course. And if vacation comes right in the middle, don't worry about it. We're videotaping all those in-classes that you might miss. And we also have a library of about 12 or 13 film classes. Yeah, they're very specific if you want to look at a cinematography class, if you want to study ahead, and look at different things.
So it's a good point. So if your vacation falls, the schedule for this is going to be roughly June the 14th through the end of July. And if you do have vacations planned in there, you can go online and watch the classes that we put up, so you can keep up with us. So don't let that stop you from joining in.
Yeah, because we know summer's kind of a moving target. It is for us too, with kids and all that. So we want to make it. We don't want anybody to say, "Well, I can't do it because I'm going to be gone July 4th."
Right.
Don't worry about that. We'll make sure you get everything that you would have missed in that 1 or 2 classes that you miss.
Exactly. And I think probably what I always like when I talk about the school, anytime I talk about the school, I like to point out really what makes us very unique. But we're a real working studio. Gary has run this operation for many, many, many years. What we're doing is segueing in from what he's traditionally done for a living into a full-blown production house where we can make movies, documentary films, and create opportunities for our students that work on real movie sets.
Yes.
And that makes this even more exciting.
Yes. And by the way, our first project, the one that will be coming up hopefully in the fall, we're in pre-production now, and that's Shattered Lives, a movie. Bruce has already written an outstanding script, and you may get a peek at it in the summer class, just a scene or two. If as part of how we teach, we like to use real-world application. So you may get to peek at a little bit of it, but he's written an outstanding screenplay I can't wait to make. Shattered Lives, if for some reason you're not old enough to know about that yet, but Shattered Lives has been a program we've produced videos for this will be our 22nd year. We didn't do it this year because of the virus, but for 20 years we've produced these videos for Shattered Lives, and Shattered Lives is a program to try to discourage distracted driving, either drugs, drinking. Even on your phone now has become such a danger to you.
Texting is the biggest danger, actually, now.
To yourself and others. And so this is a very real film about a young man who's in high school and ends up drinking and driving and killing some of his friends in a small community like ours, and the effects of that. And if you take our summer course, you're guaranteed a job with the movie. Either if you want to be in front of the camera, there's a position for that, and then there's a lot of crew positions too. So we're very encouraging about that. Bruce has also written a screenplay for our follow-up film too, which you can tell them a little bit about that if you want to.
Sure, yeah. The White Suit, it's a story based on, it's a screenplay based on a true story by a man who had a near-death experience. And you probably heard a lot about people who've had near-death experiences. What impressed me about his story was not that he went to heaven and saw what it was like, but he was given the opportunity to choose whether he wanted to keep going or come back. And it begs the question, what would you choose, right, if you were given that choice? And he actually decided to come back. So it was a fun movie to write. He's a very interesting guy, and he had made a lot of money. He was very successful businessman, but his personal life was always an issue for him until after that experience. And then it changed his life, and it ended up turning into kind of a love story. So it was a really fun movie to write, and I'm looking forward to that. So both these films are in pre-production right now.
in case you haven't been introduced to Indie Films Foundation, Bruce and I before, we're all about educating tomorrow's filmmakers and making films with a message. That's why if you look at our first two films that we're doing, they have a pretty heavy message, but that is our goal, that is our mission. You leave the theater, you leave your TV set, you are changed. You've been shared an experience that makes you think. And
it's something I think that the industry has lost. When we grew up, I watched, just on a local network affiliate, probably every film made up to that point in time in the 60s, throughout the 60s, and even into the 70s. And literally, the films that were made in the 30s and 40s and 50s, they assumed, and it was an accurate assumption, that we all shared common culture, common values. And some people look back on that time and think, well, that's so really simplistic. But those were good values, and those movies are great movies, and we talk about them on this show a lot, in part because they reflect those fundamental American values, which we personally embrace. Now, it doesn't mean that we're conservative or liberal. I think this transcends politics. But making movies that are grounded in what it really means to be a human being, and the tragedy and the comedy of life and the struggle of life, and have some message, an underlying theme. Those are the films that really grab my attention, and it's our goal for all the films that we produce with Indie Film Foundation and in association with the school, achieve that. That is our goal.
And what's interesting about that is a lot of these films, and some of them that Bruce was just talking about, were all pre-computer generated enriching of the story. Now, there's some things you cannot go to outer space without the modern technology to make that experience real. I give you that. But one thing you've got to have in a motion picture is a good story. It's got to be well written. It's got to be a good story. If not, there's a bunch of fancy, special effects, a bunch of, fancy action scenes and crashing and burning and stuff. And so we're a very small independent school. And so what we can do is make sure you work on films that have a great story and are well written. And we'll do everything we can to give that actor a place to work that he'll be able to do his best performance.
Yeah, it's all about the story. You say this all the time, and it's inspired me to write better stories. It is about the story, and there's so many great stories can be told. You don't need millions of dollars of special effects to tell a really moving human story, and that's what we teach at the school.
Yeah.
And that's what we do at the studio.
Yeah. So we'll teach you the basics we'll have you where you can shoot a half decent movie on your iPhone if that's what you want to do. Because we'll teach you the basics of composition, the basics of blocking, the basics of writing a good script. Bruce does something I can't even conceive of, is writing dialogue for multiple people that's convincing, that sounds like multiple personalities, multiple people talking. He's going to let you into the inside of how he pulls that off. And trust me, that is huge. I have trouble writing just for this guy. I can't imagine writing for, a whole movie full of 30 people. So those are the kind of the things that we've done, we've lived, that we want to share with you guys so that you can take what knowledge and base and experience we've had and add what you've got to it and really come up with some stuff that will blow people away. And hopefully some of you will end up saying, this is what I want to do for my life. And we also, in the real world aspect of it, not everybody is going to start out being Steven Spielberg, obviously. And I can tell you that firsthand. I, in my 30s, I guess, moved to Los Angeles because I wanted to work in the film industry out there. After working in news and so forth. And I'll tell you, it's tough. There's a million people out there that had as much, if not more talent than I did, all vying for 100 jobs. So we want to share with you and teach you how you can have a career in this and you can be available and not have to quit your day job to go direct a movie if you get a chance to, or go DP a movie if you get a chance to. Corporate communication jobs are very realistic and very well paying. And yes, you don't create a great movie every day, but you create little movies, little marketing movies, little corporate movies and stuff that all hone your skills, it all pays you money. And then when those big opportunities come along, you can go do them. So we have a very realistic approach for you to see what it's really like. You know, like all careers, all businesses, there's peaks and valleys. But over the long haul, it's been a great career for me, and I think Bruce has enjoyed his very much.
Well, we because we've been working in the industry, especially you, for so long, you can see into the future and see the changes that have come and where things are going. I think the opportunities in corporate communications are enormous. I think I already mentioned the fact you've worked with Chevron. You would not believe how much video they do. I mean, they've had as many as 18 producers producing content.
Yeah.
And that's a Fortune 500 company. But just in the greater Houston area, they are many Fortune 1000 companies and even smaller mid-sized companies, which are still very big, that would have in-house production opportunities. And those that literally the whole world, if you're a millennial, your generation has grown. Our generation grew up watching TV. Your generation grew up on TV, just on the webcams.
Making TV.
And now the whole world is on video conferencing and Zoom. It's only going to expand the need and the demand for good quality video. And so there are going to be a lot of opportunities moving forward.
Yeah, if your folks ask you, you know, why do you want to go into this? What are the odds of finding a job? Like Bruce just talked about, in Houston alone, just in the corporate communication, I bet there's 10,000 jobs, 10,000 people working in that. That's not talking about the films. That's not talking about the music industry, the music video industry. That's not talking about the television jobs. We manage an independent television station here, KVQT Channel 21, which Bruce has a couple of shows on that. It's an antenna station. You pick it up over the air, but it's in front of 2.5 million people every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we literally operate that out of this studio in Conroe. So as technology advances, there's also a lot more opportunities for you guys. When I was your age, if you'd said, yeah, you'll be managing a TV station in a major city one day, I go, yeah, right. But those opportunities do exist. With the internet and the broadcasting that we've both done with the internet capabilities and stuff, I mean, you have the best chance of any generation ever in the history of film and television to be successful at this and to be very successful, which means provide a good income for your family when you get older.
Yeah. The opportunities are fascinating. There's plenty of them there. So if you get the bug for this business, it's uniquely different from almost any other job on the planet.
Yeah.
It's dynamic. You're always moving around. There's always stuff to do. No day looks like every other day because every day is different in this business. And for me, that alone makes it more interesting than almost any other job on the planet. So if you come this summer and take our summer film class, I think you'll get a good sense for whether it might be something that you'd like to pursue.
Yeah.
And if it is, then you can pursue it with us. Our full-time school begins in the fall, as I said, and it's designed as a 3-semester class or like a small school. But we cover everything under the sun, and we give you multiple career paths to choose from. So you can focus on being a director, an editor, a screenwriter, a producer. We let you decide and pick which one you want to focus on. And by the end, third semester, you will be producing and directing your own film project on a large scale. And this summer, if you come, you get to see and feel what that's like. And you should be able to make up your mind, well, gee, I think I would like to pursue this.
Yeah, and it's only $595. Okay,
Yeah.
which for an exploratory class for something you may very well be interested in taking in college or taking our class in the fall, that's really not too bad. Plus, we guarantee you'll get at least $10,000 worth of fun out of it. Okay?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and we do offer some scholarships.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, we don't want it to be about money.
Yeah. Let's tell you where to go real quick, just so you know. If you go to iffschool.com, we'll put up the website. iffschool.com. Go to Summer Film Class 2021, and then if you scroll down the page, you'll find a button that will detail all the classes that we're teaching this summer. You'll find another button to register. And then there's one more button if you want to apply for a scholarship. So just go to iffschool.com and click on the Summer Film Class 2021, and then go register. We hope to see you.
We're about out of time, but we do want to, as we always do, we did a little different show this time, but we do want to encourage to watch films, movies, documentaries, television series, whatever you get entertainment value out of, and please share that with us. You can send it to Woodlands Online. You can send it to us at info@indiefilmsfoundation.com.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but
yeah,
just spell it
it's
out.
on the screen right there. It'll be added.
It's on the screen.
It'll be added right there. Please send us your comments and stuff. Also, if you have any questions about the school, please go to info@indiefilmsfoundation.
Or go to iffschool.com. So we have a separate site for the school, and that has all the information in the registration page. So that's iffschool.com.
Yeah, and you can ask questions on that site too as well.
Yes, there's a contact page. You can ask us anything you want. Absolutely.
Bruce, he's so smart. All right, guys. Well, we thank you. We're out of time, but we appreciate your time today. Please consider joining us this summer for our IFFs.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And come back next time to watch us review another famous movie from history.
Yeah. Thanks. Have a great day. See ya.
See you next time.